There are people you carry with you without meaning to. Not because you think about them constantly, not because you're in love with them or because they broke your heart, just because they exist in the background of your life, like a song playing low in another room. You forget it's there until something makes you listen, and then you realize it's been playing the whole time. I was assembling furniture on a Sunday afternoon. A desk. Nothing special, just something from a box with instructions that assumed I already knew what a cam lock was. The diagrams were tiny, the language was translated badly, and I'd already put one piece on backward and had to start over. My apartment was quiet, except for the occasional sound of traffic from the street below and the soft radio static from my neighbor's unit. It was the kind of task that requires just enough attention to keep your hands busy, but leaves your mind free to wander. And mine wandered. To Ayla. Not in a dramatic way, not with longing or regret or any of the big emotions that movies assign to thoughts of people from your past. Just a thought, a wondering. I hadn't seen her in months, not since a group thing after work where we'd said hi across a table and nothing more. She was with some people from her department, I was with mine, and we'd exchanged the nod and a small smile, and that was it. I didn't even know if she still lived in the city. But there, on my apartment floor, surrounded by particle board and plastic bags of screws and that one piece I'd installed wrong, I wondered what she was doing. Probably something normal, something Sunday. Laundry, groceries, reading on a couch somewhere with a cup of tea. The same nothing I was doing, just in a different room, under a different ceiling. And I wondered if she ever thought about me. Not often, just sometimes. Just in that quiet way you think about people who used to matter in a way you can't quite name. I kept assembling. The desk took shape. The legs went on straight this time. And I thought about how strange it is that we can know someone so well in one context and then simply not. In high school, she was a fixed point, the person in the stairwell, the one who understood silence the way I did. We'd spent hours in the same room without speaking, and it never felt awkward. It never felt like we were supposed to fill the space. It felt like the point, like the silence itself was the conversation. Then life happened. University, different cities for a while, then both back here, but in different orbits. Jobs, different apartments, different routines. We became occasional messages and rare sightings. Not because anything went wrong, not because we fought or drifted apart with any kind of drama, just because that's how it works. You drift. Not dramatically, just slowly, like a boat whose rope came untied while you weren't looking. You look up one day and the shore is farther away than you expected, and you're not sure when it happened. I finished the desk. It was ugly but functional. I stood up, stretched, and looked out the window. The city was gray and ordinary. Evening was starting to settle, lights coming on in other apartments, other lives. Somewhere out there, she was probably doing something equally ordinary, making dinner, watching something on her laptop, getting ready for Monday. And I wondered if she ever thought about me the way I thought about her. Not with urgency, not with need, just with curiosity, just with a quiet passing recognition that we'd once shared something that didn't have a name, something that still didn't have a name. That night, I went to a grocery store. Late, because I'd forgotten to eat and needed something quick. The store was almost empty. Fluorescent lights humming, cold air from the open refrigerators, the distant beep of a single checkout open. I was in the aisle with the pasta, trying to decide between shapes, when I saw her. Ayla, at the other end of the same aisle, looking at jars of sauce. I stopped. She hadn't seen me yet, and for a few seconds I just watched her. The way she picked up a jar, read the label, put it back, the way she pushed the strand of hair behind her ear, the way she tilted her head slightly when she was considering something. Small movements I'd seen 100 times before, years ago, in a different life. And here they were again, in a grocery store on a Sunday night, as if no time had passed at all. I had a choice. Walk toward her, say hello, make conversation about sauce and Sunday nights, and the strange smallness of the world, or turn around, leave and let the moment pass. Let her be a person I used to know, seen from a distance, filed away again. I walked toward her. She looked up when I was a few feet away. For a second, her face was blank. Just a woman in a store, someone approaching. Then recognition. Then something else. Something softer. A small smile, barely there. "Noah," she said. Not surprised, just acknowledging. As if she'd been expecting me somehow. As if this was always going to happen. "Ayla." I stopped next to her cart. It had the same things as mine. Pasta, vegetables, a single bottle of wine. The cart of someone cooking for one on a Sunday night. "Didn't expect to see you here." Didn't expect to be seen. And we both smiled because that was the most honest thing either of us had said in months, maybe longer. We stood there for a minute, making the kind of small talk you make when you haven't seen someone in a while. How's work? How's the apartment? Did you ever finish that thing you were working on? The usual. But underneath it, there was something else. A current. A recognition that we were both here, alone, on a Sunday night, buying food for one. That we'd both ended up in the same place literally, and maybe otherwise. She asked if I wanted to get coffee sometime. Not a date, just coffee. Two people who used to know each other, catching up. I said yes. We exchanged numbers again, even though we both still had the old ones. Then we said goodbye and went to different checkout lanes. I watched her walk away for a second, then turned to my own lane. I drove home with my groceries and sat on my floor, the new desk now holding my keys and mail and a half-empty water bottle, and thought about the whole thing. It wasn't a movie moment. There was no music swelling, no dramatic realization, just two people in a grocery store remembering each other existed. And yet it felt like something. Not big, just something. That night, lying in bed, I felt something I hadn't felt in a while. Not hope exactly, not anticipation, just a loosening. A small opening where before there'd been a closed door I hadn't even noticed. A door I hadn't known was there until it cracked open. I wondered if she felt it too. If she was lying in her own bed, looking at her own ceiling, thinking about the same thing. Probably not. Probably she was just sleeping, tired from her Sunday, already moving on to Monday in her mind. But maybe she was thinking about the stairwell and the rain and all the silences we'd shared. Maybe she was wondering the same thing I was. What would happen if we didn't let this moment drift away like all the others? If we actually did something with it? I didn't text her that night. It felt too soon, too intentional, too much like I was trying to make something happen instead of letting it happen. But I didn't delete her number either. I left it there, and my phone. A small possibility. The next morning, I made coffee at my new desk. It was ugly, but functional, like the moment, like the feeling, like everything. I sat there with my mug, looking out the window at the same gray city, and I thought, maybe that's how it starts. Not with a bang, not with a plan, not with grand declarations or dramatic gestures, just with two people in a grocery store, buying pasta, remembering each other existed. Just with a number saved and not deleted. Just with a small opening. Maybe that's enough. For now, it's enough.